Thank you guys for 350 subscribers. As promised, I'm going to get rid of the facial hair. I'm going to shave right now. I think it's overstayed its welcome anyway, so yeah, let's get right to it. I feel like I haven't looked like this since like 100 subscribers, so maybe having some deja vu right now. But anyway, hey, what's going on, guys? My name is ThePromG. Welcome back to a brand new video. Now today, I'm going to be bringing you my monthly manga for the month of May. This is the series where every month I bring you a video showing you guys what I read manga-wise over the month. I also want to mention that we're actually very close to the 400 subscriber mark right now. I think we're about 20 away. So hopefully we'll be able to hit that in the coming week. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos. Now without further ado, let's get right into what I read over the month of May. Now the first thing I read this month is the 11th hardcover of Finland Saga. Now, I've had this for a couple months, but I've been putting it off just because I want to savor the series. These hardcovers come out very, very slow, only a couple per year. So I don't really know when we're going to be getting the next one, and for that reason I wanted to hold off on this one for a while, but I finally broke down and read it this month. As soon as I started reading this, I was instantly reminded why I loved Finland Saga so much. It's been a while since I read this. I think I read the last hardcover, hardcover 10, a couple months ago. So as I started reading this one, I was instantly reminded of the charming humor, the insanely fluid action, and just the amazing characters and storytelling all around. But yeah, for some reason, if you haven't watched or picked up Finland Saga, you definitely don't know what you're missing. The next thing that I read over this month is volumes 31 through 37 of Berserk. Now, even though this is arguably the weakest point that Berserk has ever been, I still enjoyed this part of the story. It's definitely going downhill nearing the end of where I left off, around volume 36 through 37. But I will say that the art continues to exceed my expectations. Some of the most legendary panels and just artwork in general in, I think, volume 34, which is kind of a turning point in the story. Now, in these volumes I read, I think they're still on the voyage to the Elf Island, I think it's called, and they recently fought the Sea God, and just a bunch of stuff that goes along with that, like with the mermaids and Guts continuing to use the Berserker armor and becoming more numb. Now, volume 37 is the last Berserk volume that I own physically, and I don't know when I'm going to be picking up volume 38 through 40, which is currently where we're at right now with the physical release. But yeah, I'm not really in any rush to pick those volumes up, even though I'm still enjoying it. You know, there's this other stuff that I want to pick up at the moment, but eventually I'll get around to picking up those volumes and continuing my read-through of Berserk. Next up, we have a new series that I started reading this month, that being 20th Century Boys by Kurosawa. And I've owned this completed series for several months, and I've only just now gotten around to reading it. I don't know why it took me so long. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite series that I've read recently. 20th Century Boys is basically about this group of kids in the 60s or 70s who had this friend group and this hideout, and they made up this fictitious story about like the end of the world and fighting evil. And years later, when they're all grown up, one of the guys starts seeing the symbol that they had for their secret hideout and slash friend group appear as the face of this religious cult. I can't really remember if it's specifically religious, but eventually they start taking over the government, and it just becomes this massive scale operation. And Kenji, the main character, has to round up his friends from back in the day and use their knowledge of what they wrote in that fictitious story to predict the end of the world and try to stop this evil organization. As you would expect from an Kurosawa manga, there's amazing storytelling, action, and just suspense all around. Definitely keeps you on your toes. Needless to say, I'll continue to read this series in the coming month and hopefully have it done by then. Just enjoying every single element of this series so far, and I cannot wait to see where it goes from here. Now, the next thing I read this month is volumes 1 through 5 of Dora Dora. Now, I have a manga first impression review of this. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to go check that out. So I won't spend too long on this segment of the video, but yeah, Dora Dora is one of the most unique manga series that I've ever read. It has really, really cool art and amazing humor, some of the funniest manga that I own and have read. And yeah, really enjoying Dora Dora so far. Again, if you want to go check out my first impressions, check out that video in the description below. And yeah, can't wait to keep reading this series. Now, next up, we have one of my favorite manga series that I've ever read, that being Blade of the Immortal. Now, this month I read the 5th through the 9th omnibus of the series. Only one more left to go, which I'll read probably in the coming days. But yeah, I'm really not looking forward to having to finish off this series, just because I enjoy it so much. Now, in the 6th omnibus of this series, it was a lot of build-up for like 3 or 4 straight volumes. And then with the 7th omnibus forward, it all basically just explodes, and it turns into one of the best storytelling arcs, I guess, of a manga ever that I've read. What I really like about Blade of the Immortal is just the depth that he puts into the characters. The protagonists and the villains alike are just completely fleshed out and have so much detail and personality that really makes you feel for them. Characters like Anatsu, Manji, Magatsu, Rin, even Shira, one of the most hated manga characters ever. They're all just so interesting to read about, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how it all unfolds for all these characters that I've come to love so much. But yeah, I'll probably end up reading the 10th and final omnibus to Blade of the Immortal before the month is over, just not in time for this video. So if you haven't checked out Blade of the Immortal, it has my highest recommendation. Definitely go check this one out. Speaking of highly recommended series, we have the final volume of Gantz. Now, I waited so long for this volume to come in the mail. I actually had a little bit of a mishap trying to get this volume in English. I'll have a video about that topic specifically in its own video coming up in the next couple days. But yeah, as soon as this came in the mail, I read it and I can finally say that I've completed my favorite series of all time. The pure amount of enjoyment that I've gotten out of this series is just second to none. I can't really compare it to any other series I've ever read. It's so fast-paced and addicting, just keeps the pages flying. Constant non-stop action and just interesting things going on. There's never really a dull moment in Gantz, and for that reason, I definitely recommend you go check out this series. And the final series that I've been reading this month is Helsing. Now, I've had this completed set for a while, and I just haven't got around to reading it, but yeah, Helsing is a very nostalgic manga for me. Helsing is a series that I read back in middle school and really enjoyed it, along with the abridged YouTube series, if any of you OGs remember that one.
Get that bitch a cannon. Bitches love cannons.
Bitches love cannons.
Now, as far as substance, so far from what I've read, you're not going to get like a super in-depth story with, you know, amazing development. The series is basically known for its over-the-top gore and action and just amazing badass characters. Obviously, you have Alucard on the cover here, who just wields these big-ass guns that he pops ghouls in the face with, and it's just really non-stop action in this one. Basically, if you want to see vampires shoot Nazis in the face with big-ass guns, I definitely recommend Helsing. You probably won't find anything else of that genre better than this. Anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up this monthly manga reading log for the month of May. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. Also, go check out the social media links that I've left in the description to my Twitter and Instagram. I'd love if you come and follow me on there and interact as a community. So yeah, this has been ThePromG. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and as always, hope to catch you in the next one.